Oh, hello there, Site 42 and Greater SCP Foundation staff. This is Dr. Theron Sherman broadcasting. Welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. Aoki the Demon, Site 44, Agent Mowell, Indecisive, Junior Researcher Sally, your local furry, Aether Josh, and Drowsy and Leaf. Thank you all for being in the chat first and foremost, and thank you for being members as well. Meanwhile, Bored as Hell, The Real Spampton, and Bad Area 14, welcome to chat, just for being here. Ah, yes, let me turn up the background vibes now that we have begun the stream. We are in line for approximately a standard issue 3-hour office break today. So, I hope you guys are ready for some japes, some hijinks, and some good old-fashioned SCP education. Drowsy, Medical has sent me the results from my MRI, and they look clean, but it is a lot of medical jargon, especially dealing with some of the anomalous effects, so I still need to talk to the head doctor to see what's up, but so far it looks good. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, and for being the first donor of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a blueberry waffle on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, Dr. Docstar checking in from the med bay. Yeah, how are those wings going? Let me know if the doctors are taking care of you properly. I know human and dragon medicine does tend to be slightly different. Slightly. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a chocolate chip waffle on your way past the commissary. I read 8980, well, most of it. Quite the endeavor. It is both quite long, it's very detailed and with a lot of footnotes to highlight, and it's a tough read. So good luck in your continued efforts there. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I have a spare ankle from totally legal sources. You want it? You know, I'll think about it. Could you get a D class to take a picture of every page so now we know every disease? We have had enough issues with that thing and the possibility of mass hysteria it creates, so no, it's not coming out of the box. It's fine in the box. Dr. Sherman, have any birthday entities for you? Well, silly Astro fan, let me take a quick look. Anytime there's a sort of holiday coming up, you could always go on SkipNet's database to the SCP Holiday Hub. And it has a list of anomalies for all sorts of occasions. There are 3 articles for April Fool's Day. There's 1 article for Arbor Day. In the birthday category, there are 6 entities. 6, or I should say anomalies, not necessarily entities, but 6 anomalies under birthday, as well as 3 birthday tales and an honorable mention. Interesting. And so I'm going to sign you for your birthday No, no, that one's too depressing. Let's try a different one. Ooh, is this a good one? This might be fun. Yeah, SCP-5583 is an animatronic figure associated with the American restaurant chain Pizza Palace. It measures 1.8 meters in height and has the appearance of an anthropomorphic unicorn wearing a magenta wig and a pink tutu. A plastic purple star wand is covered in glitter attached to its left palm. Beyond dried grease and mucus stains on its legs, 58583 is in good state of repair. The animatronic is sapient, and capable of more advanced mobility than its mechanical components should allow. It is able to communicate via speaker within its mouth using both masculine Scottish and feminine English accents, displaying a marked preference for the former. So this pink-haired, tutu-clad unicorn likes speaking in a manly Scottish accent. It possesses other minor anomalous attributes, such as the ability to process food via a hatch in its mouth. It claims to be capable of digestion, even though it has no digestive system. And the previous meals leave no trace. Where do they go? The production of clouds of luminescent glitter when the star on the wand strikes solid matter. So if it hits you with a magic wand, a poof of glitter pops out. Manifestation of wings on its back at will. Organic wings, resembling those of a monarch butterfly. A unicorn animatronic with monarch butterfly wings. Due to the weight of the animatronic and the short span of its wings, it is incapable of flight. Well, that's a relief. And the tutu is both indestructible and cannot be removed from the animatronic. So that is the description of this anomaly. I'm going to leave the rest for you to study for your birthday, since you asked for it. But I just want you to know the title of this tale, written by the indomitable SCP author Harry Blank, is Skippy the Unicorn Has Had Enough of Your Shit. Happy birthday. Have fun with Skippy the Unicorn. Mega Martinez, you subscribed? That's what heroes do. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. I mean, medicine-wise, all they had to do was give me extremely higher doses because my metabolism is so much higher. Well, I mean, medicine-wise, all they've had to do is give me extremely higher doses. Oh, that repeated itself. Okay, well, I hope that's working for you. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I don't think SCP-8980 is anomalous. I believe Christopher Burns is the one that was the real anomaly. And you donated again to clarify that you meant Christopher Burns. Thank you for donating again, and I knew what you meant. That is a very popular theory, if not confirmed by the author Yossi, who is a fantastic SCP author, Yossi Posi. Ether, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some cotton candy on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I'm afraid to inform you that SCP-173 has breached containment alongside Abel again. That's a strange pair. It's not like they're friends. Ignore that. I don't know how that happened. I was just thinking about how 173 would not team up with Abel, so they're probably going to fight each other, which is helpful. So I think leave 173 and Abel. No, we can't let them destroy each other, because what if Abel is able to pulverize the statue? Then we wouldn't have it anymore. Okay, I'll send an extra security team, because we need to get them both taken out safely. I mean, we can nuke. We can shoot and kill Abel. It's fine. Abel will come back. What was I thinking here? Oh, yes. In case you are unfamiliar with why we have a thumbnail of me as Matthew Patrick, that is from an animated roast of me performed by the great Radiger. If you type in the YouTube search Radiger Roast of Dr. Sherman, you'll find 2 videos that are Radiger making fun of me to great effect. And you'll also find they are animated by the team behind SCP The Offshoot, who I'm hoping comes back into production because that show looked real good. But that is where that thumbnail comes from. Puna, you are such a yapper. I am the king of yappers. All yappers bow before me. If I was ever to have an anomaly, which I don't, but if I did, yapping would be that anomaly, that's for sure. Bat Enjoyer Chris, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some actual coffee on your way past the commissary. I'm going to get Pestilence Cure from the coffee machine. Yeah, as if that's not going to give you an out-of-range error, like it does all the time. Mario, my friend is calling me an SCP. Well, you do jump really high. And you have all sorts of weird things going on in that Mushroom Kingdom. The whole Mushroom Kingdom situation is anomalous. Not an SCP, mind you, it's not on the database. But an SCP. What is the most famous SCP, Josh? By the way, Josh, thank you for being a member. What is the most famous SCP? All right. Let's go to a search engine and learn how to if I see data for searches on Google. Where does anyone in chat know where they get those graphs of when people search for things? I've always seen those graphs. They're like, oh, this is when people got really into searching for blank. And I just realized I don't know how to find those graphs in real time. Yes, I'm very professional at this, you can tell. Google Trends. Thank you, Lindsay at Nindery Slashing and Maintenance. You did it. Google Trends. That's the thing I was missing. Okay. Let's look up SCP and see what comes up alongside it. So the search trends for SCP, this is for May 28th to May 29th. So this is literally one day. Okay, that's not helping. Related topics, related queries. Past 2004 to present. Okay, so searches for SCP were most popular. It looks like March of 2022 is when it got real big. And then most search in Utah for some reason. What are you guys up to in Utah? You're worrying me. It looks to me like the most popular SCPs, unsurprisingly to anyone, the most famous SCPs are 682, 173, 049, and 096. Don't blink or I'll kill you. Blink or I'll kill you. Big Lizard and Plague Doctor. Random fandom. What's the difference between sapient and sentient? I know they're not the same, but what's the actual difference? I've looked it up before, but it's never made sense to me. Very simple. Sentient is when you can feel things and you are acting on instinct. Sentient is feelings and instinct. We consider animals to be sentient. Sapient is when you have that next level of self-awareness. That is sapience. That is human level intelligence. Sentient is animals, sapient is people. That's what you're dealing with. And I always forget too. I had to look it up recently. You need a barber soon, bro. I got my hair cut yesterday. I just woke up this way. You, Andreas, you are the fool, not I. You never seen an SCP researcher out of sorts because we work too hard? Can't believe it. Skywatcher, there is shrimp in the commissary. Yes. Lockjaw, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a shrimp cocktail on your way past the commissary. Tissue of 682 and 999, SCP-999 fed to Bananazilla. No. Test denied. Bad idea is bad. No. 051, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of apple slices and peanut butter on your way past the commissary. First episode recorded. Time for me to edit it. Be prepared, Dr. Sherman, to have a few missions in lore. All right, this could be interesting. Let's see what happens. Oh, William Cipher, you are a hoot. A hoot of a... How's that therapy going, buddy? You having fun out there? Trapped in your little theraprism? Yeah. I don't know how you got in this SCP Foundation staff-only stream, but I'm glad you did so you can know that we all think you suck. You're welcome. Get well soon and get bent. Christopher Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Christopher Burns makes me very angry at the fictional character because of my first name being Christopher. Though I can't say what I'd do if Christopher Burns wasn't fictional. Hit him. Hit him. That's what you do. Hit him. Hey, Dr. Sherman, junior researcher Fair here. Miss Jenny is a great teacher, but we somehow began to learn about the history of Christianity instead of how to create souls. Yeah, I wasn't sure that SCP-5094 would have that kind of knowledge, but thanks for testing it out anyways. It was worth a shot. Amber Chaos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a root beer on your way past the commissary. I'm back in the office, Doc. But wow, the containment breach last week saw 75% of stuff still left up. Catch you later. Woof. Good luck cleaning that mess up. It's always a little fun group project to clean up the mess after one of those. Optic, yo dog, what's your opinion on SCP-049? Well, most of the time I consider 049 to be a douchebag, but right now, we're on chill terms. As long as 049 fulfills its duty to the Mobile Task Force that it signed up with willingly, it gets access to SCP-113, the gender-switching stone, as much as it likes. And so as long as the peace is kept, we are fine. Let's just hope it stays that way. Marlowe the Wisp. Dr. Sherman, I just read the SCP-5798 article because of that video you made the other day. My question is, did the snake purposefully kill them, or did it, not he? The anomaly is an it. All anomalies are its. Get your pronouns right. Anomalies are objects, not people. The drain snake is an it. Did it purposely kill them, or did it actually mean well? My best guess is I think it was a trick. I am of the, especially since it stole researcher Haddo's voice afterwards, I believe that it is luring people to their death with whatever they need to accept being drain snaked. Ugh. Very proud of everyone who saw that meme yesterday, by the way, and then went to the article to read that wiki article, because woof, that is that's crazy. But the more you guys go to the wiki to check it out, that's good stuff. That's what we're here for, getting people to the wiki. And if you haven't read 5798, you should check it out. It's a fun one. It's not too long, and does it hit. Sir, how should I go about submitting an article to the SCP Wiki? Chaos 487, you must simply fulfill the membership goals to become an SCP Wiki member. It's a long process, but it is all explained in the guide for newbies on the SCP Wiki. So start there, because you got to start the journey with the first step. Everything I tell you past that won't make sense and won't be useful unless you start at the guide for newbies on the SCP database. Dr. Sherman, have you read the Admonition series? It's one of my favorite SCP series, and I think you'd really enjoy it. Seems right up your alley. If you haven't, then go for it. It's great. I have not read it yet. I do need to get into that and see what admonition is all about. It is. I can tell. I hear about it all the time, so I need to finally check that out. Dead Memer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot cat on your way past the commissary. How would a 4521 and 106 cross test work? You see, here's the thing. 106, the old man, Radical Larry's whole thing is hunting, and it's a predator. It chases people, it hunts them. And the tree is, in fact, just a tree. Yes, it's anomalous and it doesn't scream, and we really want it to. But because it's static, 106 isn't going to get the thrill of the hunt, unfortunately. Because I do think the sadistic nature of 106, if it got it in its head that making the tree scream would be fun, then I think 106 would have a good shot at it. I mean, the whole acid burning thing is pretty dope for that. But it is kind of a one-trick pony as well. Therefore, even that sadistic streak, I don't think will be super effective with the limited toolkit it has. Plus, it might take 4521 into its void, and then we'll never get it back. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to prove that test, as interesting as it might be. Optic. Dr. Sherman, what is your favorite SCP? I always say my favorite SCP at the end of stream. It's kind of a office hours tradition. And so if you want to wait around for about 2.5 hours, that is when we will be ending stream. Or you can cheat and go to a previous day's stream, because obviously I would have done it then too. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Is feeling pain anomalies ornate feeling pain in SCP? I'm going to need you to rephrase that. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Is feeling pain anomalies ornate feeling pain in SCP? That's not quite a sentence I can understand, unfortunately. My apologies. Kronos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a side of bacon on your way past the commissary. The boys and I over at Sentinel have been discussing stuff about music a lot today. Gotta wonder, what kind of music do you like, Doctor? Any favorites? So, first off, for my day job / cover job, I work as a ballroom dance instructor, and that means I'm listening to music all day, every day. Therefore, I find it hard to listen to the same music again and again and again and again. So I usually swap to the next songs as fast as I can. That being said, My typical, if I had to pick favorites, I'm going to go with today's vibe of... I have a playlist I call Indie Adrenaline Emo. And it is a playlist of up-tempo emo songs that are fun to dance to and run to and drive to. And so we're talking songs like pop emo mostly. Let's talk about some Dear Maria Count Me In by All Time Low. Walkie Talkie Man, Stereogram kind of fits the vibe. Remember, it's just a vibe. It's not really a genre classification. Everything Is All Right by Motion City Soundtrack. Let's go with In This Diary by the Ataris, A Favorite House Atlantic, Coheed and Cambria. Untouched by the Veronicas. That's the vibe today. Anything that makes you go, yeah, 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 let's go, let's go. Very good for the gym. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. They got my wings and braces right now, uncomfortable but necessary. I will be doing remote testing till further notice. That makes sense. I assume they would have to do something to help with that. So, yeah, stay still, don't move. Optic, favorite animal? Peacocks. Peacocks are cool. Also, Rock Lobster, the B-52s, love them. Love Shack as well. Very fun to do at karaoke. Rock Lobster! Good stuff. Isaac Broyce, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. This quote reminds me of you, and the context doesn't matter. You will pay for all this, and I will not take any of the blame if this idea, which is clearly very stupid, turns out to indeed be stupid. You know, I think I can relate. I think I can relate to that. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself an iced tea on your way past the commissary. Hey, boss, here's the $5 I owe you for that sandwich. Someday I'll stop forgetting my wallet. Also, now that inventory's done, what's my new assignment? Oh, we did just have a new anomaly come in, and I believe that it could use some extra research. Let me go over here. All right, access terminal. All right, SCP-8826 is a systematic entity inhabiting digital archives of the Foundation's database. On regular intervals, an influx of scans have revealed the anomaly to be capable of accessing each level of clearance. An agent force composed of programming units has invented a spring-coded interface in dedication to hinder its presence, or at least retain its IP status. So, there is something going on in the database for 8827. Although based on its current vote history, it might not made it, it might not stay long. So go check it out and see if that anomaly is going to be eliminated or not. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating to say hi to Dr. Pepper Dragon. That is... Sure. Thank you for that, I guess. Epic Fire Dragon says hi to Dr. Pepper Dragon, I guess. DBNX, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of nachos on your way past the commissary. I think the pain question is referring to why. Okay. And especially with Chris the Dire Wolf Boy clarifying, thank you for donating again, is feeling pain anomalous or feeling no pain anomalous? Sorry. That's all right. I typo all the time. And, well, as DBNX points out, feeling pain is anomalous if you consider the universe of SCP-5000. Now, in our universe, I don't think that's the case, but... maybe in their universe it is, and maybe in certain universes it is. So we got to keep an eye. Dr. Sherman, I have successfully eaten a Bible without any condiments. Zach, listen. Well, you're not going to listen because you're about to be eaten by Vor Jesus. Listen, when you get back from SCP-5991, just report your findings. Ugh. Weird. Has the budget problem been fixed? If not, have we located or captured Dr. Moon Moon? Random Fandom, we are this close to wooing another researcher to basically draft to Site-42 with their anomalies. We're this close. We just got to make the right benefits package to woo them from going to Site-34 instead. So, fingers crossed, because if we can get this doctor, then we will be back in fighting shape. But it's going to be a close call. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. Doing good, Epic. Just chilling in my office. I feel like I'm privy to a conversation I'm not supposed to be here. Epic Fire Dragon. Of course it relates to you. You made me laugh so hard I fell off my bed and broke my wings. That's not a good thing. I mean, I know we are damn hilarious around here. The pranks are top tier. But that's a bit of an overreaction, I would imagine. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. But I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. That is a catchy bop. I understand, Bill. You are a jerk, but at least you got good taste in music. Can I work at the SCP place? Also, can you answer my question, what does SCP mean? I forgot. Site-42 staff in the chat, what does SCP mean? Remember, it has two meanings, and I want the original meaning, not the secondary meaning. What is the original meaning of SCP, everyone? Ya boy, Eli, you are the first one to say the correct answer. No, you are not. I got it backwards. Unfortunately, you got the trick question answer. Eldroich and Alki, you are also incorrect. You are doing the secondary motto. I am waiting for someone. Oh, you're so close, Robosium. But it's not standard. Standard is not what the S stands for. Rolling through. Who's going to get it first? Who's going to get it first? Dr. Harley Jones. First one in the chat I see to properly say special containment procedures. Little history lesson about SCP. In case you don't know, now you know. The first SCP that was ever written was SCP-173. And in that, it was called SCP because those were the special containment procedures. It was only after way more SCPs were written that it started being called the SCP Foundation, and they came up with the Secure, Contain, Protect motto. But all of that came after the original meaning, which was special containment procedures. Fun trivia for your next time you're chatting with anybody about the SCP Foundation. Because a lot of people think it's Secure, Contain, Protect. They think that's the original. And it is old enough that it's basically, I mean, it is canon. It is very much what it means now. But you're going to have that trivia knowledge that Special Containment Procedures was the original meaning. Is there a reason they chose the number 173 for the first SCP? Josh, I do not know the answer to that. I would love to interview Moto 42 one of those days, if only because they have a great number in their name. But I would love to talk to them about that. I need to see if they have more interviews out there. Pardon. Hiccup starting, oh Lord. Okay. Indecisive, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a grilled cheese on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, can I do a test? If I hold on to the back of SCP-173, I will be fine. I'm from the Looney Tune dimensions. Also, here's a s'more from SCP-457. Alright, s'mores are pretty dope. But I do not care if you will be fine. If you ride SCP-173 piggyback, it's going to cause issues for the rest of staff. So I'm not allowing this test. Christodire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Hello, 051. How are you? Again, this is not a conversation I'm supposed to be privy to, I guess. Thank you guys for donating to me to talk to each other. I appreciate your support, regardless of how oblique it is involving me. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. You forgot yesterday, Dr. Sherman, didn't you? Well, maybe? What's my amnestic schedule right now? Is that why I feel so drowsy? Did someone drug my coffee? Was I supposed to take amnestics today? Huh. Well, I'll have to figure that out after the stream. Okay, what happened yesterday? Yes, I remember you breaking your wings. Oh, because it was me with the Roger. That's what you're talking about. Okay, yes, I did forget that. But now I remember that. Ow! Remembering things through amnestics hurts. Whoever amnesticized me better had a damn good reason. And I mean that even if it was me. Undead Nuclear Gamer. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a scone to go with your tea. Hey, Doc, good to see you in the holes. Sips tea. Very good. Good to see you, buddy. And, hold on a second. Let me confirm something here. Boom. I just want you to know, I'm working on the set build for my shorts right now. For short videos, vertical videos. We're looking to upgrade the studio. And in fact, do you guys want a sneak peek? Do you want a sneak peek at the studio build? It's not necessarily a big deal or anything, but since we're here anyways, I can show you something. But while I'm waiting for that 30-second delay for you guys to answer in the affirmative, I just want you guys to know that Undead Nuclear Gamer specifically does some pretty darn funny SCP videos of their own. So if you're not familiar with them, you should check out their security guard videos. They're hoot. All right, there is the affirmation. So let me show you guys the studio build. So starting here. So of course we are here. While I've got this up, here's Undead Nuclear Gamer's channel with some great SCP memes for your viewing pleasure. Meanwhile, yes, we have the auditory lab, which we use for the archival videos. You can spot the YouTube play button from our recent 1 million subscribers. And then what you're going to see here in the closet is we have, right now, we've taken out the shelves in the closet, and we are hanging, I'm using it as hanger space right now for my costumes. But you'll notice on the ground a solid wood panel. And then on the interior of the closet, we have both some walls that we've installed that we can mount things on. So what we are doing is we are planning a background for the sets. That way we don't have to use green screen. And so that is our starting panels. We are in production on building the new studio since we moved last year. It took us a little while to get organized. It's been a crazy year. But, so yes, we are starting to build our laboratory space. That way we don't have to use green screen for videos, which will allow us to be in a much more realistic setting and interact with different videos a lot better. Because the green screen functionalities on YouTube and TikTok are both a little bit iffy, and it limits the kind of interactions we can do. Let me catch up with some of this chat that's going on here while I was yapping there. We do not need this intense music for this particular scene, huh? Dr. Sherman, where did YouTube find you to give you the play button? Oh, no, I had it shipped to one of our front companies and I picked it up from there. We're working with Google behind the scenes. We're working with Alphabet to stream these to you, these streams, only to SCP Foundation staff via YouTube back channels. But I'm not telling them where Site 42 is. That would be crazy. Oh, Desk, you've made it to the chat. Good to see you, amigo. All right. All right, let's take ourselves back to the chat proper. Let me out of the room, Dr. Sherman, let me out. No. Present 99, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a burrito on your way past the commissary. What do I have to do to become an SCP-5706 test subject? The fact that you're asking that scares me as I go to look up 5706 on the database. Okay. Site 42 staff. The title of SCP-5706 is Skyrim Speedrun Prank Gone Wrong, Gone Sexual, Not Clickbait. That is the name of this article. And to add insult to injury right now, it does have the adult content splash page, with the adult content splash page being here for specifically explicit depiction of sexual acts. I knew it was something like this when you asked. And before anything else is said, we do not fraternize with the anomalies. I don't care what this document says. That is against protocol. You hear me? I know you hear me. All right. Let us momentarily look in this document. The Foundation has made large anonymous, this is the special containment procedures. Large anonymous donations to sexually transmitted disease awareness and prevention programs in a number of countries with documented 5706 outbreaks. The patents of the antiviral drugs have been purchased by Foundation front companies. These drugs have been substantially reduced in price to aid in containment efforts of 5706. So we are buying and reducing the cost of STD drugs to contain this anomaly. We are doing Medicare for all for an anomalous disease right now. Individuals identified as carriers of 5706 are to be detained and questioned about their sexual history to identify other possible carriers, then treated with a targeted antiviral drug developed as part of the 5706 containment initiative. They should also be amnesticized depending on the duration of their infection. Samples of 5706 are stored in Biosite 66's cryogenic storage facility. Research proposals involving exposure of D-Class personnel to 5706 must be approved by Site 66's Ethics Committee liaison. So, this is an anomalous SCD and you want to be a test subject? That worries me even more. What does it do? Oh, God, help me. Specifically, SCP-3305, codenamed Bread Jesus. That's who I'm praying to at the moment. 5706, description. 5706 is a strain of herpes simplex virus that causes the perceptual anomaly when an infected individual orgasms. The non-anomalous symptoms of 5706 are identical to those of HSV-2, the strain of herpes simplex which causes most cases of genital herpes. Blisters appear on the genitalia within approximately 7 days of initial exposure and heal over the next several weeks. 5706 is transmitted in the same way as non-anomalous herpes, and use of barrier contraceptives such as condoms can reduce its spread. Practice safe anomalous sex. Jesus Christ. This time, I'm praying to Vor Jesus, SCP-5991. When an infected individual is brought to orgasm, either alone or with a partner, they experience a perceptual anomaly, which includes total sensory hallucination and significant time dilation. This perceptual anomaly consists of the entirety of the action role-playing video game Skyrim, released by Bethesda Softworks in 2011, including the 3 downloadable expansion packs, Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn, beginning at the start of the game, when the player character awakens in a horse-drawn carriage on their way to be executed, and not ending until the defeat of the game's final boss, the Dragon Alduin. Affected individuals report being placed into the world of the game, able to perform actions not normally possible in the original game. However, conversations with NPCs are still limited to the game's original dialogue options. Site-42 staff and the greater SCP Foundation staff who watch these anomalous broadcasts from Site-42, I regret to inform you that there is an anomalous form of herpes that when you orgasm, if you have it, you are transported into the game of Skyrim and forced to play the entire game before you can get back out. Damn you, Todd Howard installed Skyrim into my brain. I know, Unfailing Eagle. I know, but I can't help. This is on the database. This is canon by SCP author Chewbacca. Oh. With a rating of 274. It's a very positive article. SCP-5706 was first discovered in June 2017 when Foundation agents were alerted to reports of unusual behavior following an orgy held by attendees of the Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles, California. A number of participants were detained and interviewed. Those who had experienced the effects of 5706 all reported sexual contact with a man who resembled Todd Howard, the creative director of Skyrim. At the time of the orgy, Mr. Howard was on stage at Bethesda Softworks' E3 presentation. When interviewed, Mr. Howard denied all knowledge of the orgy and of SCP-5706. Surveillance of Mr. Howard's banking records revealed that he had recently made several large payments to an accountant registered under the name Simoplex. This account was emptied and closed on the day of the orgy, and all attempts to trace the individual to whom the account belonged have so far been fruitless. The investigation is ongoing. What am I supposed to say about this? Well, at least we're containing it, right? At least we're containing it. We're doing a good job containing it. So, thank you for introducing me to 5706. Present 99. Thank you for donating again right this instant to say, I'm sorry, ... not. That's pretty effing funny. Admittedly so. Oh, Lord. Okay. This time I'm praying to SCP-5320, the infinite fish that just goes on forever. Praise its long and infinitude. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Oh, Mr. Desk SCP, I cleaned your shotgun for you. I got the shotgun merit badge in Boy Scouts, so yes, I know how to disassemble and reassemble a shotgun. Desk, the fish is not a loop. SCP-5320 is infinite, and we will find the head, and we will find the tail. It is not a loop. Ansem, the fish is not a loop. Stop it. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Wait, do us Site-42 staff have a Discord? If you look in the description of long-form videos on this channel, you will find a link. You must be over the age of 18, same as joining the SCP Wiki, because obviously, we deal with adult-themed things all the time here. On top of which, remember that I am basically the absent father of that Discord server who went out for milk and cigarettes and never came back. I got very, very busy in the last couple of years between Site-42 and other ventures, and so I do not stop in very often. But if that's a place you want to hang out, they seem to be having a good time in there. I just looked in the server for the first time in a while, and I'm very confused. I am very confused by what I just witnessed. DBNX, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, what the hell is that thing behind you? This is acoustic foam. It is for dampening sounds. The acoustics lab is full of the tasty foam. Tasty to your hands, not tasty to your mouth. It's a texture thing. It's not a taste thing. It's tasty to your hands. That's what it is. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some French fries on your way past the commissary. Mind control potato neutralized. A researcher came in and set it on fire, taking care of it. On an unrelated note, no more 914 tests for me. Glad you've learned your lesson. Okay, Major Atticus, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a latte on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, sorry for being annoying. I'm just curious, and because I think it's a neat game. Have you looked at Abiotic Factor? Also, what was the person did you suggest looking for neat SCP content? So A, not annoying at all. Don't worry. B, did I tell you to grab something at the commissary yet? Because if I didn't, grab yourself some grab yourself a fruit bouquet on your way past the commissary. I have not looked at Abiotic Factor yet, but I have been recommended it several times and told it's an SCP-like game. Could be fun. I am interested. It's something I do look forward to checking out at some time. Meanwhile, the channel you want to look at for other cool SCP content on YouTube, specifically shorts focused, is Undead Nuclear Gamer. This person does skits as an SCP security guard. It's pretty good. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Hey, Doctor, I would like to welcome my friend to Site Security, Matthew Shaky. Welcome to Site Security, buddy. Dr. Darkstar signed. All right, well, Matthew, make sure that you are not too shaky on your security duties then. DBNX, thank you for donating again. Lol, I made you look. I am now the ultimate prankster, and I have the statue. You can all suck it. Ha 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 ha. Oh. Really? That got you the monkey? I am shocked that it was that easy. Huh. We'll get it back. This prank war has not yet begun to prank war. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I just ate a roasted potato on the floor. Well, I'm certain that won't have any odd side effects that we got to worry about. Foxpacks & Co., good to see you in the chat. Thank you for your first donation of the day, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Hot Pocket on your way past the commissary. Update Dr. Sherman. We managed to drive the APC away, but I'm pretty sure I heard a robotic voice say decay, and now we're all on edge. I don't know what that means. Keep your eyes peeled. Site 42 staff, just a quick moment. We are at 209 likes and 224 viewers. If you hit that like button right now, we might have more likes than viewers. You guys can do it. I believe in you. Hit that like button. Let us recruit more people forcibly to the SCP Foundation fandom. We will drag them kicking and screaming into the dark so that they can help us die in the dark and the other people live in the light. You're going to make me blush, Doc. Thank you again. Hell yeah, Hoss. Otherwise known as Undead Nuclear Gamer. I am almost certain that people who are in this chat would like some more SCP hijinks in their day. And you're the guy they're going to go to right now. Oh, wow, you did it instantly. You beat the like total ratio. Congratulations, Site 42 staff. I knew you had it in you. Now, don't stop hitting the like button if you can, because we can keep pushing that thing all the way to the moon. We can pierce the heavens out there. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Is it raining insanely hard where you are too? It is not raining at all where I am. You should be careful that you're not in an SCP-3300 location. Keep hearing a clicking sound every time I try to focus. That's probably fine, right? Well, researcher Nathan, I assume it's probably something like that. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Any goddess SCPs? Well, Shraymak, we do actively contain both Hera and Aphrodite in SCP containment. So, I mean, yes, the answer is yes. For reference, Hera is SCP-4453, and Aphrodite is SCP-7454. Hey, Dr. Sherman, if Arceus from Pokemon was an SCP, how would you try and contain them? I mean, I would assume just a Pokeball, right? They have the technology right there. That's pretty easy. Dr. Sherman, what's some advice for starting an SCP YouTube channel similar to what you do? So, if you want to be an SCP YouTuber, there's a lot of routes to get there. You could be like SCP Illustrated, now Mr. Illustrated, and you can do drawings and voiceover. You could do the Volgins method, which is high quality computer-generated art, as well as very, very handsomely voiced voiceover. And by computer-generated, I meant like he makes it in Blender. I don't mean AI, because God, trust me, if you use AI anywhere near the SCP Foundation community will never talk to you again. On top of that, I mean, my method is a bit weird, because I do, in my youth, I did a lot of theater classes and film work and stuff like that. And I use that and interactive theater acting like a Renaissance fair and improv troops. And I channeled that into making jokes in shorts, either reacting to other people's videos or informing people and educating them about the Foundation. So, either way, what I'm going to tell you is that you should practice your performances, you should practice your art, you should learn everything you can about the art of film. You got to know about lighting, you got to know about sound quality, you got to know about computers and the internet. You got to know how to market yourself and advertise, because if you don't put yourself out there, why would anyone listen to you in the first place? And with all that, you're kind of building up the multi-talented world of being a YouTuber. It's like being every person on a film set at once. So it's a lot, but good luck. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I went to medical. It doesn't look like I have anything to worry about. Well, that's nice, but we should put you on a 24-hour hold at least. You just ate a deceased anomaly. I would be worried about that. Would you rather work for the ethics committee or a task force if you had the choice? Oh, clearly, actually, I thought I was going to say ethics committee, because then I wouldn't have to go out in the field. But they deal with a lot of shit. Maybe it is safer for me to just go out in the field as an agent. Even with my broken-ass foot. It's a tougher call than I thought initially. Maybe I'll risk the ethics committee. Maybe I'll still go with the ethics committee. I'm just way more worried about it than I thought I would be. No, Rosie. I'm not saying I want to be one of them. I'm just debating my options here. Aether, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, what happened to Reggie, by the way? Oh, didn't you hear? Reggie just returned to the internet. After a long hiatus, ye old dumbass has returned, at least to TikTok. Maybe YouTube as well? Shorts? Yeah. Reggie has returned. And so with that, especially building my set over here, like we highlighted earlier, I look forward to getting some team-up reactions with Reggie again. That'll be fun. Project Unfarmed, I'm glad you knew about Reggie returning as well. When you go check out Reggie at the channel Ye Old Dumbass, remember Ye has 2 E's. Tell him Dr. Sherman sent you and says hi. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Okay. Chris, also, Desk is saying, as you have kindly cleaned the shotguns for Desk, you can have about 45 seconds on the Lovecraftian locket to patch up any issues you have. So remember, don't stay too long. It could cause bad things to happen to you. But just take the correct amount and you'll be good. Top SCP quote, our walls are gray, our floors are gray, our morals are gray. I've never heard that before. I like that, Dr. Silver. God Sinner. Hey, Caracal, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a fish taco on your way past the commissary. Caught up on Released Find Us Alive. Very nice. Still stuck in the Chaos 1 universe. Not as nice. Can you get a hold of my universe and tell them to activate the D-Boy Grind? What is the D-Boy Grind? Is that some sort of wood chipper for D-Class? Is grinding up D-Class a way to bring you back somehow? Is it some sort of festive dance ritual the D-Class do to open a portal to bring you back? Do the D-Boy Grind or something. I'm a little confused about what your universe is calling this. Jose, I absolutely love your content. Oh, well, thank you. Glad to create SCP content that you are enjoying, whether it be our videos or our streams. We're all having a good time here at the end of the day. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Will do. Godspeed. Dr. Sherman, what happens when SCP-447-2 comes in contact with a dead body? Oh, well, that's obvious. What happens is... I mean, it's not that complicated, right? I have a question, Dr. Sherman, good sir. What could possibly be more powerful than the guards of the Foundation? They did quite literally contain what's basically a god, after all. So, you gotta remember, the guards are just security guards. Very well-trained security guards. But they are just guards. There's a lot of things that happens when it comes to containment that's on the research side of things. Reality anchors. Probably all sorts of containment boxes and different magic thaumaturgical spells. It's not all just the security grunts. They are quite talented, and they do have a good arsenal. But that's about that. Plus, remember, 343, the pretender pretending to be God, just sits there willingly. So it's not like the guards are working that hard. Fair here. Dr. Sherman, question. Have we discovered an SCP that has to do with the Disney show Gravity Falls? I looked through our database and couldn't find any. But you're the doctor, so I'm asking. So, obviously, Gravity Falls is anomalous, but it's not an SCP because it's a Disney property. We're Creative Commons, so we wouldn't take someone else's stuff just for moral reasons. But we're definitely not trying to steal stuff from Disney. Please. The lawyers are crazy. That being said, if you are interested in things that have a similar tone to Gravity Falls, as well as the show that one of the shows that inspired it, Twin Peaks, then you might be interested in an SCP canon known as Those Twisted Pines. To quote from the hub, get to the point, get to the point, get to the point, get to the point. Overview. Strange things are done in the Pacific Northwest, and the fine folks at Site-64 are there to keep them contained. Nestled between the doorstep of a massive extra-dimensional city-state, a large anomalous art community, the world headquarters of Anderson Robotics, and the natural habitat of a bizarre array of wildlife, the SCP Foundation certainly needs all hands on deck in this region. Set among the colorful backdrop of Those Twisted Pines is a diverse canon exploring a variety of themes. So far, this has included: what conflict exists between a mobile task force agent's duty/ambition and their family? Why does the Foundation intentionally create anomalies on occasion? To what lengths will the Foundation go to accommodate the families of employees? Is it acceptable to allow smaller anomalies to remain uncontained if it means more effective maintenance of the veil? When is the Foundation willing to allow a group of interest to remain in control of an anomaly? To what degree do sapient anomalies struggle for individualism and self-affirmation? Site-64 and 3 Portlands are always a changin'. However, then there is plenty of room for you to leave your mark on the Pacific Northwest. So I have been told that if you enjoy Gravity Falls, you can enjoy Those Twisted Pines for certain vibes along the Twin Peaks, Gravity Falls oeuvre. So if you want to check that out, it's not Gravity Falls, but it's a little like it in some ways that people appreciate. Are you an actor or voice actor? Dominique, I am a voice actor in that I do the voice acting for this channel, for the voiceover podcast of the different SCP readings. I have also used that to springboard to freelance voiceover work. I've done voices in some SCP games. I have a ongoing contract with an educational app that teaches elementary school kids how to read. I'm the voice of all of the text and questions in that game, or at least most of it, since they've grown and added more voice actors. Great job! I'm essentially Miss J, SCP-5094 to these kids. So that's pretty funny. And I do enjoy acting and doing things like that. I have not done so much performance since the pandemic, although I did perform Much Ado About Nothing in San Francisco a couple of years ago. That was fun. I would love to get back into some SCP movie making and stuff. And how old did you start to be a voice actor? I think I was 28 when I started. And that was just me making my recordings on my own and building it from there. I have not taken the natural route of school and all sorts of normal paths to this kind of career. I've kind of made my own way. And building the YouTube platform has certainly helped that notoriety. Are there any SCP cons or meetups? One time in Florida, a group of SCP authors held a panel at a convention in Florida, and a bunch of people went to go meet up there. But that was like 10 years ago. Radiger, a wonderful friend of the channel, SCP YouTuber Radiger, is known to go to anime and gaming conventions in the Utah area and have a table set up for SCP Foundation fans. So that is not a meetup, but that is Radiger going out and repping the community. And I guess I can resist this because we're about 90% sure it's going to happen. But I will be returning to MetroCon Tampa at the end of July. So if you happen to be in the Tampa Bay area or able to get there, you may just run into me. And in fact, maybe I should do a panel or something so people have a set time and place to come meet up. Fox Paxson Co., thank you for donating again. Hey, Dr. Sherman, can you run a group name through the database for me? The group's name is Common Rider. What in tarnation? Common Rider? I mean, I'm familiar with them in name and reputation because a lot of my anime convention friends are also Kamen Rider friends. But I have not been exposed to this television show myself. Good old Sentai craziness. Caracal, thank you for donating again. First one, the more dead people who know about anomalies in one place, the more likely I can teleport there. Picture a... I don't know what that last part means, but I see what you're talking about anyway. So, that's right. More dead people who know about anomalies that you can teleport there. I remember that ability now. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I saw the guards for 343 taking a nap. I mean, yeah, it's pretty much the easiest job of all. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cherry cola on your way past the commissary. Show SCP Fight Club the Fight Club movie. SCP Fight Club? What are you talking about? There is no SCP Fight Club at Site-42 that we don't talk about because the first rule of SCP Fight Club is not to talk about SCP Fight Club. That would be ridiculous if that was a thing that we had on the second floor break room every so often to bet on SCPs winning fights. That would be a crazy thing that would never happen here. I mean, that's insane. Also, we can't get a copy of the Fight Club movie here in the site due to reasons. DBNX, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, just between you and me, who do I have to see to get a sample of SCP-420-J? I just need it for research purposes. Yeah, that's the ticket. Oh, our next site-wide SCP-420-J party should be coming up soon. I mean, we got to keep morale up after all. So, don't worry, your time will come. No, desk. His name is Robert Scranton. His name is Robert Scranton. His name is Robert Scranton. Hey, question. Which 3 creepypasta would be considered an SCP? Slenderman, for example. Even better question, would Herobrine be considered an SCP if he was on this realm? I feel stop ignoring me. I'm not sure what that last thing means. But so we already have an SCP that's very similar to Slenderman. It is an entity called Bundle. And I believe it's 582 or 586. Yes, 582 is Bundle, an SCP that is very much like Slenderman in ability and shape. So SCP-582 already covers Slenderman. I feel like Ben Drowned would very easily be an SCP because, you know, anomalous video game, all sorts of stuff going on, spooky ghost, artificial intelligence, constructs taking over people on the internet. That's a whole thing. So I would see that fit into the SCP verse very clearly. And then there is on the Parawatch wiki, there's a lot of sort of creepypastas that that are basically the SCP version of creepypastas. So if you're not familiar with the Parawatch wiki, It is a message board where people go to talk about anomalous experiences or stories they've heard. And it is basically old school creepypasta on the SCP Wiki. It's very cool stuff. I've done some readings of Parawatch articles here on the Wiki. I've made them on the channel, I mean. So you can see my readings of Parawatch as a Parawatch poster, so to speak. So that's where I'm going to go with other creepypasta things. Dr. Sherman, someone is using telekill and titanium for an alloy mixture to make a cage? Oh my god. That is the literal stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Titanium on its own is a bad plan, but now we're involving telekill alloy? Jiminy sakes. For those unfamiliar, SCP, what is telekill's number? SCP-148 is the, quote, telekill alloy. It is a metal that makes anomalous properties abate, kind of like a precursor to Scranton reality anchors on the Wiki. It used to be a lot simpler and just used all the time, and because it became overused, they added some fallbacks to it. That way, it would not be overused to, oh, this can contain anything, blah, blah, blah. But it became a joke for a while because it was so overused. Dr. Sherman, how hard would it be to get into writing SCP articles right now? Any time that you join the Wiki is the hardest time to join the Wiki as a writer. Because from its inception as a simple creepypasta website, SCP has continued to evolve and evolve and evolve. And the longer you wait, the more stories there are, which means there are more ideas that have been done and elaborated on, and the site has evolved more and more. So the best thing you can do is start writing for the Wiki immediately. That way, you can get your story on the Wiki and stop someone else's idea from being made by making it first. That being said, there's no problem with redoing someone else's idea as long as you put your own spin on it. I mean, after all, there's like 600 different reality benders. They're not all the same, otherwise they wouldn't have stayed on the Wiki. So, I mean, the hardest part of getting into writing SCPs is you have to actually learn how to write SCPs. And for a lot of people, it's taking that next step beyond basic fanfic to the SCP format that's a little hard for people unless they do a lot of work studying the guides and learning enough about the SCP format to fit your story inside that strangely shaped bureaucratic horror box. Start writing. Not doing so is the only real failure. Damn right, Caroline K. Damn right. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I found an anomalous audio recording of Fight Club playing on repeat, with the sound being both above and below human hearing, playing through Site-42 speakers. So you're saying you found a version of Fight Club that is audio only, playing at both the above frequencies and below frequencies, so anybody who's not a human can hear it. And you hear it playing on repeat through Site-42 speakers? Well, I'm certain that would not inspire anybody to try and start an SCP Fight Club. That would be a ridiculous thing that no one would do, obviously. Caracal, thank you for donating again. The 682 I have been writing says hi. It says your chaos version was a jerk. It says it would like to come with me, but more chaos to kill. Okay, let's just, I guess just leave it there to do its thing then. At least it's not killing our humans. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again just to say yes to my hypothesis. I will look into that, and I will totally not fix the issue. For sure. Wink. Hey, Dr. Sherman, me again, looking for show suggestions. Watched both Eureka and Warehouse 13. Any suggestions? So you've watched Warehouse 13 and Eureka, and you are looking for more SCP-like shows. So I hope you've seen Cabin in the Woods, because that is a movie that's basically SCP Foundation the movie. I've heard of The Librarians, as None Your Business has just said. I've heard that is SCP-like. Severance is hitting the mystery box with some SCP Foundation vibes a little bit. We're not exactly sure what's going on in that show, but it is gripping. So I would highly suggest that. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Man, I would have had a much better answer for this, and now in my brain, I can't quite think of any. I think it's those amnestics I took earlier. I'm just a little woozy still. Desk is seconding librarians, saying librarians, librarians, librarians. And also, Desk adds in for asking questions about starting to write SCPs. If my country bumpkin off-site cosplaying, content making, reading disorder having ass can write and post a successful SCP, anyone can. I believe in your chat. You hear that? Desk believes in you. So don't believe in the you that believes in you. Believe in the desk that believes in your ability to write SCPs. Do it! Lost January, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pint of ice cream on your way past the commissary. Hello, and thanks for the help with the SCP-7777 instance yesterday. I keep finding the term being thrown out in SCP. What's an eigenweapon? Oh, wow. I haven't heard that in a while. First of all, I'm glad that your situation with 7777 is fine. So, an eigenweapon is a anomalous superweapon, basically. It is a weapon made up of an anomalous... Essentially, it's an anomalous weapon of mass destruction. It's an anomalous WMD. That's all it means. Eigenweapon means anomalous WMD. That's easy. That's the easy way to put it anyways. The Antagonist, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a root beer float on your way past the commissary. Could the pestilence be it from SCP-5000? That's a popular theory, but I believe there's some discounting threads. There's some debunks of that. If you go to SCP Declassified, the our subreddit, SCP Declassified, they have an essay explaining the behind-the-scenes of SCP-5000 very thoroughly. And I think they debunk the pestilence idea as well. SCP Declassified on Reddit is a great group for getting in-deep knowledge and analysis of SCPs from SCP authors who make this their business of doing so. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. Is Foundation aware of Democratic Penguin Republic? I'm sorry, what? While I'm looking that up, Could Alt Cunningham from Cyberpunk 2077 be considered an SCP? A suitably outsider-esque artificial intelligence? Yes, definitely. Especially one that came from humanness to become that. Sort of a terrifying level up. So why am I looking this up? Is Foundation aware of the Democratic Penguin Republic? Looking in the database. Da-da-da. So, for one, I have never seen this before. Okay, so is this in response to the United States trade policies by chance? Is that where this is coming from? I see. Well, living, talking penguins are pretty anomalous, so I hope we're keeping an eye on that. Dorina, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a ice cream cone on your way past the commissary. If there was a button that would make a random SCP real, but gives you 1 billion, would you press it? $1 billion, but a random SCP becomes real. So it could be something completely innocuous, or it could be something very, very world-ending. In the Foundation, the odds are about half and half, really. You know what? No. Actually, the odds are not half and half. People have this stereotype about the SCP community that it's all world enders and it's all big bads, but so much of it is just innocuous stuff that only affects like one little area. So honestly, the odds of it being a world ender are quite small, and that tells me I'm taking the plunge because I want $1 billion. Do you know how many SCP movies and TV shows and games I could make with $1 billion? Please, let me have the money. Please give me $1 billion. You get $1 billion, but when day breaks is the SCP that comes real. Saya-chan, that is a 1 in 15,000 chance. Actually, more than that, if we talk about the foreign language branches of SCP as well. There are thousands upon thousands. When day breaks is just one. So the odds of when day breaks being the one that comes out is not even remotely likely. So yeah, I'm hitting that button. You may have said this in a previous stream, but I do not want to sift through them right now. Will there be a return of the X is not an SCP, but if it were a series? Epsilon, there will be. I'm currently working on the first script. The problem is I've hit a roadblock because I am trying to, A, cover a very difficult to cover anomaly. I'm biting off more than I can chew. On top of which, I'm trying to expand the format and make it more robust. And I'm hitting a lot of roadblocks with how to write that mentally. So I'm still working on it. And in fact, I have a, pardon me. I'm drinking too much coffee to stay awake right now. I have a secondary script for a different formatted video that I want to do to kind of wet my teeth and get used to writing again before I jump back to that. But I am in the process. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Also, it has Start a Fight Club playing at the end of the story before repeating. Also, all the names of the story are replaced with the SCP numbers. All right, you really gotta shh about this. You gotta tell people about that. You don't gotta tell people about that. Foxpax and Co. Thank you for donating again. Oh, great. Now I got a Warlock Clown here, just causing chaos amongst the GOC ranks. Is it a Warlock Clown we know, or is it a Warlock Clown we don't know? I already know Herman Fullers is coming to town, so this might be an advance party. Sheesh. Terragal, thank you for donating again. I was speaking to 049 for the first time, and It told you, not he. It's an it. 049 is an anomaly, not a person. It's an it. Do not humanize the anomalies. Use proper pronoun practices, please. I was speaking to 049 for the first time, and it told me that I'm immune to the pestilence and is asking to analyze me. Should I allow this or not? No! Do not do that. Testing with 049 on the pestilence invariably leads to your demise. Say no. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. If 999 it would be the best choice. Yeah, if we got 999 and $1 billion, that would be like the best day ever. Chest to Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself an enchilada on your way past the commissary. I have an idea for something to do at Site 88. I'm worried, but go on. Fox Packs & Co., thank you for donating again. I don't know, from what I can tell, their name's Chuckles. Okay. It's not Bubble. A lot of anomalous clowns. A lot of anomalous clowns. You know, I wonder if clowns in the SCP universe worship Milk Jesus. We do know that you need to milk the clowns, because clowns in the SCP universe, at least Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting, they are outer beings shoved into a rubbery flesh suit, and if you don't milk them, they explode. So you have to milk your clowns. You got to be vigilant about that. And so maybe clowns are right up there with Milk Jesus. Also, a lot of you are reacting like Chuckles the Clown is something you know about, but I don't know what that is. Okay, Once Upon Witchlight, is that what you're talking about? Leaf, I don't want to milk my clowns. Well, if you don't milk your clowns, they're going to explode, okay? So you don't have a choice in the matter. You won't have any clowns if you don't milk them. It's just the way it works, man. Apples and Darker Games, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Chuckles is a clown from hell. Oh, cool. We know how to deal with things from hell, thanks to our interrogations of SCP-4357-J, the cooperative demon. So, dealing with Hellspawn, that is way in our alley, thanks to that loser. 4357-J is a hilarious SCP because it's a demon, but it's very sassy. And so every time we try and contain it, it chastises us for not being good at containing it, and then it tells us how we could do a better job. Therefore, it helps us to contain it every single time. Funny article. You should check it out. "8857 versus 173, huh? Well, I don't know what SCP-8857 is. Spinal nerves, huh? Object class Euclid. 8857 is housed in a 2 meter by 2 meter by 2 meter containment chamber. Oh, this is at -9. This is not long for... Oh, this was just posted 6 minutes ago. Did you write this? Human entity composed of spinal nerves radiating from a central thoracic human spine. I mean, I don't think that 173 is going to have a problem offing this thing in a fight. But yeah, it looks like this entity might not be long for this world. Drina, thank you for donating again. SCP-1143 was what the randomizer spit out. Too bad I don't got that kind of cash to give out. Okay, let's see what 1143 is. If we brought SCP-1143 to life, would we survive? SCP-1143, titled, Cool Guys Don't Look at Explosions. All right, I like this so far. All right. Pair of unbranded aviator sunglasses. When worn by an individual, it causes inanimate objects behind the individual to spontaneously explode in a seemingly random pattern. Likelihood of 1143 causing explosions is dependent on 6 variables. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so good news. It is a safe class, which means we can just stick it in a box and not worry about it. Plus, we can go out into the mountains and the desert and walk around and make things explode for fun. So I see this as an absolute win. $1 billion and sunglasses that make things explode for fun. I can't argue with that. Chesta Factory, thank you for donating again. Could Doom Guy be considered an SCP? Well, it's not on the database, so no, but it is very anomalous. Has Skyrim speedrun gone wrong, gone sexual, not clickbait, become the new 729-G? Well, one of them I can say without nearly vomiting, so I think that's still the worst one. What number was that again? Was it 5076? No, it wasn't that. 5706? Yes, 5706. Skyrim speedrun prank, gone wrong, gone sexual, not clickbait. That is the name of SCP-5706. We talked about it a little earlier in the stream, in case you missed it. It's a bit ridiculous. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. What's the line between science unknown and anomaly? When we discover that it is normal and non-anomalous. But it is it's a thin line, and sometimes things fall on the wrong side, but that happens. Random Fandom, I'm surprised 5706 isn't a joke SCP. Important to remember, staff. Dash J's are usually very blatant jokes, as well as jokes that are jokes about the SCP format itself. Whereas, if it's a funny SCP, it is still taken a little more seriously. For instance, an SCP anomaly that is a Dash J, but seems like it's almost on the line, is SCP-4L-D3NT3. SCP-4L- D3 NTE. Or DNT3. Dash J. I can't even get it. Come on now, show me what I want. I guess I gotta go to the dash J's. Oh, wow. I found a dash J, SCP-043-J, with a +1 rating. Barely surviving. Wow. That's a rarity. Okay, as I was saying there. Doo-doo-doo. Where is it? There we go. Oh, there's no dash. That's why it was wrong. SCP-41D3N73-J. SCP-41-D3N73-J is a joke SCP. It's a pretty funny one. But it's so comically off the wall that you can't take it seriously as being canon. People act out of character in a funny comic manner, like Artie from Southeast Custodial Professionals. Whereas 5706, even as a funny SCP, still takes itself seriously in the realm of the SCP universe, even if it is talking about something funny. And it's a very hard line to tell, just like the difference between unknown science versus anomalies. Sometimes the lines kind of blur. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Would you try putting the DC version of Santa Claus? It gives Darkseid kale every year, and Darkseid can't stop the DC Santa Claus. I mean, are you saying would we try containing it? Because the answer is obviously. Hell, Dr. Clef and Santa Claus have been in a feud for ages. And so what's another Santa Claus to go on the hunt against? Caracal, thank you for donating again. Bye, chat and doctors. Back home, dinner time. Have a good meal. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Yeah, you mean putting it in a box. Yeah, we put it in a box if Clef wouldn't just shoot it down. Fox Facts and Co, thank you for donating again. Oh boy, now the clown appears to be accompanied by an anthropomorphic Siberian tiger, an anthro-croc, like a crock pot, you spelled it? And some type of fire creature. Seems like you're gonna need bigger guns. You seem to have a lot going on over there. 10 Tails, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some donuts on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, anomaly has been detected in Team Fortress 2, and a lot of them. They are killing and pulling players in the game, and there are many of them. Server blight are one of them. What are we going to do? All right, we will need to get the artificial intelligence constructs involved in crashing the game so we can do a hard reset and clear the entities. That would be our starting position. Is there a version of Doctor Who in SCP? Huh. I know there's one tale where the administrator travels to like the very end of time to confront an evil deity and ends up regenerating like the Doctor, I believe. I forget what that's called. SCP Administrator Regenerate. See if I find anything. Is it Administrator versus the Black Moon, maybe? Tanhony's proposal. That could be it. Refer to attached file. Do. Keep on trucking. Get to the end. Yes. Yes, at the end of Tanhony's proposal number 2, the administrator and the Black Moon end up in a bar talking. And if I remember right, the administrator pulls out a shotgun and fires it at the Black Moon. Shoots the Black Moon with a shotgun. Clef would be proud. Maybe, I don't know why I remember the regeneration. It doesn't seem to be here. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. DC Santa Claus is one of the individuals who trained Batman. DC is always wilding. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. You should do SCP meme reaction videos. Well, I mean, Dr. Sumerian hasn't done those in a while. I would have to ask Dr. Sumerian because that's his turf. And I don't want to step on his turf unnecessarily. Foxpacks & Co., thank you for donating again. You're telling us they don't appear to have noticed us yet, thankfully. Okay, definitely lay low if that's an option. Dr. Sherman is too busy reading other comments right now to even read mine. I got you, Parastorm. You've been caught. It happens. More likely than you think. What's an underrated SCP in your opinion? 590 is one for me. And those adorable claw machine penguins you mentioned one stream. But I know you know more of the wiki than I do. You mean claw machine monkeys. That's 3092, Guerrilla Warfare. Claw machine monkeys are great. Love them. So let's pick a random SCP that I like and is underrated. What if I check out this one? How rated is this? Is it underrated or properly rated? Well, it is at a +841. So that means it is properly well rated. But you know what? Not enough people make memes about it, so I'm going to plug it. I'm saying the unrated SCP entity of the day is SCP-2337, codename Dr. Spanko. Dr. Spanko is a male corncrake. It is sapient, sentient, and capable of speech. All of its vocalizations are at a minimum 90 decibels and a maximum of redacted decibels. This can cause very much ear damage if you don't go in with proper ear gear. And it talks in word salad, and it likes to eat gummy worms, which it calls strangle fruits. There are some wonderful tales about SCP-2337 in the SCP universe, and SCP-2337 is written by SCP author Dave U. Fool, who you might recognize as the author of of the not the SCP series, of the lit RPG genre series Neverstone. The Neverstone book series is written by author Ned Caractus, otherwise known as SCP author Dave You Fool. And he always writes very weird and funny SCP stories, at least to my knowledge. I've never seen him go serious, but he might. But if you see a Dave You Fool article, you know you're going to have a good time. And I've read Neverstone Part 1, and it was nice. I should read the end of the series eventually. Gamer77, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of Doritos on your way past the commissary. Just got here. How much time is left? And also, here's an idea. Anyone who tries to fraternize with the anomalies has to kiss that thing. And we don't let it out of that thing's cage until they kiss it? Ooh. Oh, you are a monster. Kind of like it. I mean, that would indeed be fraternizing with the anomalies, and if they want to fraternize with the anomalies so bad, then there's one for them right there. I'll take that into consideration. Also, we are at the 2-hour mark of today's stream, which means there is 1 hour left. So we are 60 minutes left in this stream approximately. Quasi Quafter, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a stick of pepperoni on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what's your opinion on format screws? I love format screws. I love meta bullshit. I love SCPs that do that. That's why SCP-3999 and SCP-3043 are among my favorite SCPs, because they mess with the format, they play with it. You feel like you're dealing with the website in a tactile way. That is great. House of Leaves is one of my favorite books for a reason. Holy shit, gang. You guys are at 352 likes at the 2-hour mark? Keep hitting that like button. You guys are doing it like professionals. We are going to drag so many new SCP Foundation recruits into this stream. We will force them to become one of us. Foxpax & Co., thank you for donating again. Hold on, I think I know who these guys are. They're characters from Legend of Aventrice. They're a D&D channel here on YouTube and also stream on Twitch. Who what guys are? And apparently you know these guys. I'm not familiar with this team, but apparently you know who they are. I'm looking at the name you spelled. I'm finding a musical artist named Legends of Adventress. I'm not seeing this YouTube channel you're speaking of. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's the D&D group. I see what you're talking about now. I'm not familiar with them. Oh, okay. That's where Chuckles the Clown is from. This is okay. Now I'm seeing what you're getting at. All right, I am caught up now. Well, I'm not familiar with that particular D&D group, but I hope you can use your knowledge of them to not get killed or breach the veil of secrecy. Drina Borg, thank you for donating again. What would happen to an individual that electronics anomaly fix their own software in their presence or with the person's attention? Well, they would be contained first and foremost. Anomalies is as anomalies does. They go in the box. Second, they would end up, I do declare, probably shunted to work in Foundation IT based on that. As long as we knew there weren't any side effects of them dealing with technology. Kind of sounds like the opposite of SCP-8980, now that I think about it. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Thoughts on the movie Spaceballs? A classic of comedy films. Mel Brooks is a genius, everyone loves him, and that's a great movie. Formative comedy movie in my career. Gamer, thank you for donating again. Do we know for sure who wrote the original 173 on 4chan, and are they still active in the SCP community? So, Moto42, the creator of SCP-173, is not... Is that... No. I've got the wrong name. Do I have the right name? This is not important enough for epic music. SCP-173, written by... Yes, Moto42, okay. So what happened was, the SCP creator community, the authors, the site staff, did a lot of work to confirm with behind-the-scenes documents that the user Moto42 was in fact the first person to write 173 on 4chan. And while they are not particularly active, they do talk to staff now and again regarding the needs of the SCP community. For instance, when they took down the image of SCP-173 because it was stolen art, it was through a discussion between Moto42 and the wiki staff that Moto42's wishes for there to not be an official picture anymore was granted. Moto42 wanted it to be that you could imagine, everyone could imagine their own at this point, so they didn't replace the image, they just took it down, and that's where we got the gallery of 173 from dozens and dozens of artists that we put on the wiki now. Great gallery. You should check it out if you haven't. Quasi Quafter, do you take reading requests? I take reading suggestions. I can take a look at things, and it depends on the time I have and the interest of the story. I don't do them strictly, but I will take suggestions and check them out and see if it's something I feel like reading. Also, just checking something. Goddess is coming. Trying to... Okay. Is coming. Enter. Darkness. Okay, that's what I thought. Are you literally SCP author Quasi Quafter? Is that you, Quasi? I feel like I've read some of your SCPs, and that's why I recognize your name. Uh-oh. Called out. Found out. Yeah, what SCPs of yours have I read? Quasi's page. One Last Ace. I don't know that one. Spectrum says, I know I read SCP-7043, the Montauk Falcon, because I am a huge Murphy Law fanboy, so I know I read that. Asteroid Idea? Did I read that one? Oh, yeah. I did a reading of Asteroid Idea. Back in 2022. Wow. Signs point to yes. Dial-up drama. Forget Me Too. Sometime Apart. Well, I know I've at least read one of yours. Yeah, we did Billith. It was Billith and I for 7043. I remember that now. Very cool. Okay, cool. Tangent aside. Thank you for joining the stream, Quasi. Hope you're doing well. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I think SCP-999 is behind you. I'm in a very small room. It is not possible for that to have been the case. Remember, 999 is 1 meter by 3 meters. It is large. It is not small. Clone, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a green milk on your way past the commissary. Good evening, Doctor. Hope everything's well. Weird question, but outside of SCP, are there any fandoms or universes you would like to make content for? Huh. Other fandoms and universes that I would like to make stories about. If I were not, other than SCP, I mean, I would hop in the Dresden Files fandom universe, no hesitation. Dresden Files is dope, and so I could find a lot to talk about there. Other fandoms universes. Honestly, that's probably the only one that I'm that dedicated to. I'm going to stick with that. Hey, Dr. Sherman, do you have any mentally stable SCPs, or are they all just a bit insane in their own silly way? I would imagine that yes. There are plenty of SCPs that are mentally stable, even being in containment. I mean, being in containment does make you a little nutty. I mean, you're in prison, and prison is not good for people. You can see a lot of studies about how prison does not lead to rehabilitation most of the time, and in fact, the way we run prisons causes a lot of recidivism. So that kind of stuff happening in situations where we're dealing with the anomalous makes things even worse. But there's only so much we can do. We haven't solved the entire world of prison and stuff like that, so I don't think we're going to be fixing that anytime soon. Hold on, is this live and not recorded? Dryzimo, you tell me, is live or is record? If that is your real name, Dryzimo. Do 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 do. Hey, Dr. Sherman, name the most 2 powerful SCPs that you know. Well, everyone knows that SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP. If you read SCP-6101, you will see that it is, in fact, the most powerful SCP. It literally opens with SCP-6101 is the most powerful SCP. So, I mean, you can't argue with that, can you? Meanwhile, I think the sleeper strongest SCP, now this is just a hypothesis because we haven't gotten to fully test it out yet, because we are not strong enough to fully test it out. But SCP-6564 is the animate skeleton of a currently unidentified female infant, and when you it carries a small wooden sword and wooden shield, and if you beat the skeleton baby in a battle, then it levels up to a stronger level, and then if you beat that one in a fight, it becomes a frickin' Dark Souls boss. And so we haven't beaten the Dark Souls boss version yet, but if we can find a way to fight that one, then we might be able to level it up to the very strongest anomaly. But that's a hypothesis. 6564 if you want to check out the fight baby. Prison isn't good for people, but anomalies aren't people. Don't humanize the anomalies. Damn right, Desk. You are speaking the truth. Prison's not good for humans, but anomalies it's just fine, because they're not human. They're objects. Sorry I'm late. Was paying a visit to our, quote, friends at Arby's. Oh, Edward, how are they doing? I'm sure nothing funny business-wise happened over there. Out of all your SCPs that you've made, what is your favorite? Huh. You're making me choose among my children, the SCPs I wrote, aren't you? I'm going to go today for mood and vibes. And that means I'm choosing SCP-5886, which is The Ballad of Jim Biggio. It's a short article if you want to give it a read. It gives a very it comes in, I made a vibe happen, and I left. Don't need to be too complicated. Terragal, thank you for donating again. Permission to have time with 999 in my dragon form. Is there a particular reason why you need to be in your dragon form for that? Quasi Crafter, thank you for donating again. Or thank you for donating for the first time, I believe. Grab yourself some pixie sticks at the commissary. Gotta go. Read 6606. Code format screw. Bye-bye. All right. Well, Crazy Crafter suggests to read 6606. And I might as well take a quick peek at it for a preview. Mama Izuwu, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. 6606. What you got, Quasi? Oh. Oh, wow. You say 6606, right? Yeah. Good format, screw by. All right, well, it shows up like this on my screen. So, wow, that is an intense, very intimidating opening for an SCP article. The following file and all included documents, supplementary or otherwise, have been classified for the following reason. Includes information regarding the harvest and exploration of the planet Kepler-22b. Includes vital information regarding the in-progress harvest of the planet Terra. Includes vital information regarding the nature and or operations of Spectrum. Spectrum Department of Citizen Health Management. Spectrum document copy. Wow, this is a lot. Ooh, this is deep. All right, I'm going to have to give 6606 a read later. That's intense right there. Jonathan, thank you for what I think is your first donation to today's stream. So grab yourself some hard-boiled eggs on your way past the commissary. The world is rotten, rotten to the core. I shall turn it into a gray wasteland. Hey, we do not need a gray goose scenario going. No. Bad. The world is a mess, and I just need to rule it. That's all. That'll fix it. And by I mean the Foundation. And by rule, I mean from the shadows, keeping people safe from the anomalous. That's all. That's all I mean. The megalomania is not in effect. Not at all. None of that. Montaz Z, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot wing on your way past the commissary. Dr. Z here. I hope you're doing well. I myself, still stuck in the cat maid dimension. Please send help. I think I'm starting to understand their muse. Oh, you don't want to go in there, man. You don't want to go native in the cat maid waifu dimension. Oh, that will do things to you. I will try to send a team your way. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. I have a mental image for you. A metal image for you. Oh, a metal image, okay. Imagine a 3-foot anthropomorphic direwolf with direwolf fur, ears, claws, paw-like feet, eyes, and fangs carrying 999, as if the direwolf is wearing 999 like a royal cloak walking to you. A slimy wolf? A slimy wolf. Well, Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. So, keeping everything as is. Well, better than anything. Hey, you all in the chat, I see you. No, it's not weird that I offered them a single chicken wing at the commissary, because it's a really good chicken wing, okay? Quality over quantity. Thank you. Thomas, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of pumpkin pie on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Longtime fan, but never caught a live stream before. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the videos and the streams, sir. Welcome to your first stream. Question for you. What would happen if you gave 682 a piece of 500? Well, technically, 682 doesn't need SCP-500 because it can heal itself. So I would imagine it wouldn't have an effect. If it would have an effect, I'd be very worried about it. I would hate if it did have an effect. If 999 became... Or not 999, if 682 somehow healed to like a greater form, maybe as if being shunted into this section of our dimension has made it weaker, and it could gain the strength of its outer version with 500, that would be really bad for us. Do you not have the funds to get more chicken wings? Hey, don't you sass me. The commissary is doing just fine. I know the site budget has been a little sparse lately, but the commissary is well stocked, thank you. No, this is like an SCP-294 make the perfect drink situation, where you don't need more than one chicken wing because the chicken wing is just that good. You're gonna eat that chicken wing, it's gonna infect you with a sense of ennui, knowing that you have peaked in your chicken wing eating experience. That's how good it is. So no, it's not budget. It is just we're not setting this person up for a terrible failure of life by giving them more than the one. That's all. That's all. What are the worst SCP sites to be at? Well, Montazi, thank you for donating again. The worst SCP site to be at is Site 13, hands down. Can someone please mention 682 might be violent because of pain? 500 might fix that. I've heard that, but I don't really buy it. I think it's a sob story from bleeding hearts who have pity on anomalies and humanize them when they're not supposed to. I don't really believe that if 682 were healed, that it would be any kinder to us based on experience and watching different universes where it comes up. What is that? I'm looking for that name. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. I have to question for you, sir. Is this a memorial to MatPat or just a fun title? Phase Fantasies Books, the title is because I don't know if you came to stream from the shorts feed or from the subscription feed, but if you look at the thumbnail for today's stream, it is a meme because Radiger, fellow SCP YouTuber and all-around great SCP author and podcaster, made a joke in a roast of me that I was the MatPat of SCPs. And then I had a group of SCP animators animate that roast, and that's the meme image that came up for that moment in this video. So it's I put the thumbnails of our streams to be memes as far as I can come up with them. I'm gonna eventually run out because we're doing daily streams, but I'm gonna keep going until I can't go anymore. So yeah, it's both funny and there's the thumbnail meme to go with it. Usual Drama. Welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership as well as your service. And a reminder, at level 1 researchership here at Site 42, you get your green name so I can spot you in the chat better. You get your badges and your emojis. It's at level 2 and up that you get early access to Site 42 video uploads. Meanwhile, if you're a patron, you get early access at level 1 since you don't get the YouTube benefits. We're trying to balance things out a little bit for what you want out of your SCP experience. Dr. Sherman looks like Matt Pat confirmed. Well, I used to look a lot more like Matt Pat when I was younger, especially, but the thing that makes me look like him, despite not actually looking like him, is the theater kid energy. It's the theater kid energy that hits people. Chris the Direwolf, thank you for donating again. It has the best stuff as seasoning on it. I got to cook the chicken today. See? The chicken wing is seasoned with the best stuff. That's obviously why you only need one. Only need one. It's like the opposite of a Pringle. Once you pop, you need to stop. Trizimo, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself another singular chicken wing from the commissary. We're handing them out to everyone now. That's what you get. Recon, the site needs an anomaly that messes with electricity, or does it already have that? The site needs an electrical anomalies. SCPs, electricity. Electricity, can't better what I mean when I'm with you. Oh, baby. 938 is a predatory electrical entity, so it probably doesn't want to help, but it does mess with electricity. Meanwhile, 4388 creates energy in the form of electricity, so there is that. It can create electricity. And then 1920 creates electricity through unknown methods. So if one of those three can help you, then that might be it. Who wrote the first SCP? Agent Miles. That would be a author on 4chan by the name of Moto42. That is the person who wrote SCP-173, the first SCP. Usual Drama, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself another singular chicken wing on your way past the commissary. Single chicken wings for everyone. That's how we're going here, at least for a little bit, until I get tired of it. Also, we are approximately 40 minutes from the end of stream, people. 40 minutes. Updates on the goddamn tree. Usual Drama. Usual Drama. It's we're working on it. We're working on it. The tree will scream. 4521 will scream. It will. It hasn't yet, but it will. It will. It will. Are you an NPC? What the hell, monkey? I don't know what you're talking about. I am obviously a player of the highest order character. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Who's the better SCP superhero, the Spectre or Cactus Man? Huh. SCP... the Spectre... or Cactus Man. So... the Spectre is the physical embodiment of the concept of fighting crime, manifests at night during law enforcement actions. So it does crime enforcement. It is a anomaly that does crime fighting. Versus Cactus Man, anomalous male of Scottish descent. A lot of Scots today. Daniel McIntyre, although it refers to itself as Cactus Man, the Spiked Menace. Instantaneously grows spines. photosynthesis, uses water in a hyper-efficient manner, tolerates higher than above average temperatures, empathic connections with cactuses. Interesting. Several mental disorders, that's not good. It looks like the answer is very clearly the Spectre, because the Spectre can help stop crimes, and Cactus Man's whole trouble is it's depressed because it can't stop crimes. So, there's that. Gamer, thank you for donating again. What is your opinion on Contained and Lord Bung? So, Lord Bung and I did some productions in the past before their whole issue that ended the Confinement series. I'm a little sad because the Confinement series was shaping up to be pretty good. But, you know, every artist has their issues, and drama happened. And it's a shame that it took down what was a pretty good project overall. Even if at the end it had some rough patches, as people might call them. I still would like to see how it all aped out. Also, they are partly the symptom of, you know, not being able to fund your art properly. Because Bung liked to use copyrighted music, they would get millions and millions of views on their episodes because they were really good. And then all of the money would go to the music holder. So they wouldn't get paid for their awesome episodes. Besides the Patreon, which the Patreon was pretty good, but it wasn't nearly enough. So, yeah, you got to be careful. You set yourself on hard times, and then when you're in hard times, you make bad decisions, and that gets worse and worse and worse, and you get in trouble. Wish things had gone differently. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, 8123. Yeah, what about it? A hive mind that you can join by partaking of a certain mushroom, and then bad things happen if you get cut off from the hive mind. So don't do that. It's a bad idea. Serenity Draws Stuff. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dark Nick. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot pickle on your way past the commissary. Which is the real SCP-001? You know, if I told you, it would ruin the mystery. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Can't do it. Dr. Sherman, Dr. Shermshake. Really taking those nicknames in new and wild directions, aren't you, Junior Researcher Sally? Says, I didn't do a silly doodle for you yesterday. I'm doing a full-on drawing. Laugh, and you've got a cool shirt. Oh, thank you. This is one of my new shirts. I go to vintage shops sometimes, and I see if I can find interesting shirts. Do some thrifting for style's sake. Obviously, I like a good old-fashioned Hawaiian shirt, but this is a little bit of a branching out. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Is Jeff Dunham an anomaly? No, I think he's just I'm pretty sure he's just a highly dunked on comedian. Which, I mean, is no fair. He's not bad at what he does, so... I mean, you don't need to be that mean to the guy. Also, ventriloquism is a cool skill. No problems there. Dark Nick, thank you for donating again. Then which is your favorite SCP-001? Ah, now that one would have to be Lily's Proposal, A World Gone Beautiful. And that is a very short and sweet vibe piece where we've observed universes where the end has come. And in certain universes, that end is everything on Earth becomes beautiful flowers, and the weather outside is perfect temperature for you to walk outside comfortably, and all of the anomalies are released and are peaceful and nonviolent. and everyone just vibes peacefully as the world ends. If any SCP-001 is real, I want to become that one. Every image I've ever seen of 682 has it necrotic and practically dead. I know I'd be in a lot of pain if that was my constant state, and exceedingly grumpy and violent as well. That's only because most of the time when it's safe enough to photograph 682, it is in an extreme state of damage because we've had to contain it. You don't get a lot of pictures of 682 at its full glory because usually if you're that close to it to get a picture, you're also dead. So with that, normally photographs of 682 are taken after we've debilitated it enough to contain it. So that's just a confirmation bias. Quick question, which way to the records department? I lost $200 during last night's, quote, meeting, because I'm pretty sure they took a dive. That is dishonorable. That is uncouth. There would have to be consequences for doing such a thing during a, quote, meeting. I want this investigated. Keep me abreast of the situation. Clone, thank you for donating again. What if we try to use SCP-729-G? Oh, this better be worth it. This better be worth it. Ugh. On the tree. In theory, would that make it scream? Saw this in the chat and thought it was an interesting idea. Okay. That's not a bad suggestion. Right now, maybe it's because I took those amnestics at the start of stream, but I feel like that idea has been talked to before, but I don't know if we did it or not. Does anyone remember if we did that in the past and what happened? Unicorn Girl, if you want to know what that thing is, all you have to do is look it up on the SCP Wiki. But you're not going to like it. Krista Dyer Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. I mean, because he is so good at throwing his voice, I would believe he has anomalous powers. I mean, we would have to spot him doing so in a way that proves that it's not anomalous. Or that it is anomalous. I would want to see some more investigation of this then. Pardon. Oh, still feeling sick from that thing. Joshua, thank you for what I believe is your first SCP, or first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a slice of pizza with gummy worms on it on your way past the commissary. I think I read that somewhere. What SCP do you swear is just a disguised fetish? Not trying to be freaky. Also, how are you? So, I mean, there was probably the thing we talked about yesterday, which was the Vor hole, a deleted SCP. That was exactly what it sounds like. The reason we don't talk about Dr. Bright is because SCP-963 is essentially the author's barely disguised fetish. You can read The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright, or you can listen to The Last Death of Dr. Jack Bright on this channel to understand why we don't talk about Dr. Bright and how that's related to it. All of that is alleged, by the way, allegedly. And then... I don't know, there is that milk SCP, not milk Jesus. I mean it's like a milk bottle. People talk about it being weird. I don't remember. 686. It is a opaque white liquid. It's basically milk. When you drink it, it increases the host's lactation rate. And so it makes you generate milk when you drink it. So that is, a lot of people think that one is a barely disguised fetish. I'm not exactly certain of that one, but I wouldn't be shocked. You know, you can't get through any community without having a little bit of that. Oh, yeah, gamer. The original 166 for sure. Thank God they rewrote that. Specifically, thank Uber driver Jesus that they rewrote that. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. You said it didn't work if I remember right. You know, you're probably right. Maybe we did test that thing on it, and it somehow resisted despite, you know, that thing killed 682 in another universe, so I can't believe the tree survived that. Liam, what's my favorite SCP? You will know what my favorite SCP is in about 25 minutes, because I always say my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, and we are 25 minutes from the end of stream. Now, if you want to cheat and go to an earlier stream, you could watch the end of stream there to see it as well, or you can just hang out for 25 minutes. I mean, we're just chilling. Not a channel. Oh, it's just a cute little plushie? What kind of demon are you? You scare me. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. Arg, I'm not even on custodial this week, and I still had to sit through a 2-hour orientation on how to strip and re-wax the floors in the lab in the halls. Hey, you're getting paid overtime since you're not on that shift this week. You're fine. Gamer, thank you for donating again. Not to be an ass, but why does the SCP Foundation make such a big deal about Pride Month specifically and none of the other months? I don't have a problem with Pride Month, but why not the other months? So the SCP community has a very boisterous relationship with Pride because A lot of the community members are LGBTQIA in some way, and B, because in the times we exist in politically right now, the LGBTQIA community is under very strong attack by the right wing of the American political wing. So it is a specific thing to stand up for at this point. That is why the SCP Wiki on its own, and myself, stand Pride Month specifically as compared to like Black History Month and others. It's kind of a situation where if you can't fight every fight, because then you'll always be fighting, you'll never do anything else. And the SCP community as a whole has kind of decided on Pride Month as being their line in the sand. Whereas other people can pick up other fights as well. And if we all pick up all the good fights, then we all win. But one person can't do it all, one group can't do it all. So it's kind of a picking your battles kind of thing. At least from my perspective, what I'm seeing. Because of course, I'm just one guy, a member of the community, so that's how I see it, but I might not be fully correct. You would have to talk to more people about that, and especially Wiki staff about that. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. If there's smoke, there's fire. That's true. Thomas, thank you for donating again. Dunham, Jose, and Peanut all talking at once before. Well, I mean, it still could be a trick. It still could be an act. There's ways. We gotta be judicious here because we can't contain Jeff Dunham if we're wrong, because then we'll be wasting amnestics and resources there. Dr. Pepper Draken, thank you for donating again. I'm gay and I think a whole month is too much. A lot of people, there are some people who say things like that, but it's just, you got to think of things from a political-minded set. There's a lot of reasons why these things happen that you and I might not be privy to. And in keeping with political-minded things like that, which, I mean, that's life. Life is political, so especially in the current times, it's not bad to give it some extra fire when the assault on it is so thorough. We don't need epic music right now. Are there any Tales or non-6470 SCPs that take place in the silent era? I'm not familiar with any. I mean, the first thing I got to do is I've got to refresh myself with the exact definition of the silent era. During the silent era, which existed from the mid-1890s to 1920s, a pianist, theater, or organist, even larger cities, would play music over silent films. So that makes me want to check for silent films. SCP, silent film. 1914-J is a player piano that produces environmental reminiscent music of early silent films. So 1914-J is related. SCP-5668 is the only known poster for a 1924 silent horror film entitled The Angels Look at Us. No copies of this film are known to exist. 3407 projects a black and white silent film. So these are related to silent film specifically, but it's not really time zone, the era of the silent era, to my knowledge. Delta 999 report card. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Chicago-style hot dog on your way past the commissary. How do you feel about Lovetown? Well, I'm not familiar with it, so I'll look it up really quick. The silent era I was thinking of has nothing to do with silent movies. Random Fandom, I need you to explain a little more thoroughly then. That's a very... Delta, I'm gonna need more information because love and town are two very common words, and I'm getting a lot of things called Lovetown, like a solo single co-written by Len Barry and Bobby Eli, released by the former Sweet Thunder and Impact member Booker Newberry III in 1983. It could be a small story arc in the game Library of Ruina. It seems to be some sort of creepypasta. That might be what you're talking about, but all I have is a YouTube video about it, so I can't exactly look it up and watch it on stream right here. So, Desk, if you see Delta 999 report card, mention anything clarifying this Lovetown thing, let me know. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Oh, I just remembered I'm not supposed to have chocolate as the Dire Wolf Boy. Told me to get a chocolate chip cookie today. Well, I would assume the human side of you would balance out the chocolate allergy. But was I wrong? Keep an eye. Oh, Delta 999 report card. Thank you for donating again. To clarify, we appreciate it. That's the one, Library of Ruina. All right, let me take a peek and see what I find. Lovetown is the merry village of Warp Train UW212. These cheerful train passengers came together to protect themselves from those who sought to inflict pain and sadness upon them. Although they have sacrificed their bodies and time has degraded their minds, they continue to hold strong together in the name of love. Lovetown and its protector, Tumeri, are the 17th guest group to be invited to the library, and they take up the second and final reception to the rightmost column of Urban Plague. All right, well, I know nothing about Library of Ruina. So your question was, how do I feel about this? And my response is, I don't have any feelings. Catboy Wizard, hey, I got a YouTube membership to your channel. I don't know how, but I'm excited. Oh, congratulations on gaining membership. Welcome to staff. Like, why are they on this train even? I mean, Tumeri is certainly a, wow, very interesting mass of flesh. That's not what I was expecting based on all these people here. Looks vicious. Interesting. The art of the train car background, the dialogue is pretty cool with the flesh creatures and stuff. So yeah, my feelings are, hey, this looks kind of neat. Desk, you sent me something, I'm talking about 6470, article where no one is allowed to speak at all or communicate through any means about the silent era, and everyone has to take SCP-6470. So, what you're saying here... Are there any tales of non-SCP-6470 SCPs that take place in the silent era? So the quickest way to figure out... Oh! I remember this SCP now. Omnipresent. Nice. Okay, yeah, that one's creepy. Okay, so what we got to do to check this is we go to the Series 7 SCP list, because that's the 6000s. Then we scroll down to 6470, titled Omnipresent. No, first. Before we scroll down, we click SCP Series 7 Tales Edition. And then we scroll to 6470, and no, there is no additional tales or stories regarding that. Although it might be time for some people to write some, because that's a really cool setup for some lore. I would love to see that elaborated on. Youch! Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of beef jerky on your way past the commissary. What if you asked 294 for the other half of 529? Even if we could find it, we would not want to dispense it as a liquid. That is so aggressive and violent to such a kind anomaly. Don't summon Liquid Cat from the coffee machine. I didn't think I had to say that. Christadar Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. I felt the tree scream. Then tell me you would never believe me. Well, you're right, I wouldn't believe you. That is... We have all the instruments recording. If it screamed, we would know. If it talked to you, we would know. So, yeah, you're right. I don't believe you, and the tree is a liar, and I don't think it screamed, and I don't think you're lying. I think you're being tricked. I don't think the tree actually screamed. I think it's setting you up to frustrate me. And I'm not going to be frustrated or tricked because I am awesome and the head researcher of this project, and the tree will scream. I will not be led astray. Liv, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a jelly donut on your way past the commissary. Which Pokemon would you think is classified as an SCP? Well, in their universe, Pokemon are normal, so they're not SCPs at all. But if they exist in our universe, they would be SCPs. They would be anomalous. Especially if just one came over, then it's an anomaly. So whatever Pokemon, all anomalous. Delta999, thank you for donating again. Is the Wanderer's Library restricted or good to go? I mean, the snakes guard it, so, I mean, the Serpent's Hand has members who guard the ways, so you can't get in if you're a Foundation staff member. I used to be able to sneak in there and get some intel from their, library of infinite knowledge, but no, they're all stingy about it. Just because we want to contain anomalies and protect humanity, they just don't want to cooperate. Frickin' hippies. The desk says, technically we are just spicy Pokemon. Gotta contain them all. I mean, you're not wrong. Chat, we are currently 9 minutes left in stream. 9 minutes left in stream. So get your questions in quick because we are running out of time. A library is like an island in the middle of a vast sea of ignorance, particularly if the library is very tall and the surrounding area has been flooded. So let us in the goddamn library, Serpent's Hand. Origami, I'm right there with you. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. What if I try to get into the library? Well, you are anomalous, so you would be more likely to be let in. But they might know that you're affiliated with the Foundation, which would cause you a lot of trouble. So, be careful about that. Origami. The song that's currently playing from the, is called Inspired by Kevin MacLeod. And I just feel like its background, noise goes really well behind that Zelda song. That's why that came to my head out of nowhere. Delta999, thank you for donating again. Last question for me. T0346, Keter or not? Huh. Not familiar with that anomaly. Let me take a quick check. T0346. Or was it T03? White Knight. Highly powerful angelic abnormality. Second form of the Plague Doctor. Oh, god dang it. There's always a Plague Doctor. Game treats as entirely new subject. White round head, curved body, red eyes, 5 pairs of white feathered wings, halo of thorns, golden collar. How prissy of it. Resembles an underdeveloped embryo. Of course it does. Its form as White Knight remains permanent throughout any future runs. It can only be reverted through manual save editing or resetting the game. Interesting. Its ability will trigger the transformation of the 12 employees blessed by the Plague Doctor into apostles. Strips the player of all control over time, but also prevents the player from opening the escape menu. White Knight will teleport to its department's main room and remain there until it's suppressed. During its very first breach, Plague Doctor transforming into White Knight. And it'll activate the third trumpet, 98 score. For future escapes, this will be calculated normally. I do not know any of these terminologies. I've never played this game. Very simply, I can say that it is, I think it said it teleports. Yeah, it teleports. So it's basically automatically Keter because it is very hard to keep teleporters in a box. So easy, Keter. There we go. Dr. Silver, we are 5 minutes from the end of stream. So stream is still going, but just barely. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I'll just try being so adorable they have to let me in. Oh, good luck. Skyfights and Delta 999, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. What is your opinion on the Mothman? Well, Mothman is somewhat contained, if I remember correctly. $29.01, Mothman. So, Euclid class, extra dimensional properties, so we cannot physically contain it. So that's annoying to me. I hate it when we can't contain it. And meanwhile, if you trust the statues about it, it do have that bussy, I am informed. What is 2598? Seeing chatter about it. Oh, another moth. Well, how about that? 2 moths in a row. Large yellow moth wearing a small helmet. No other anomalous characteristics are discernible. That and its behavior. Able to communicate with humans, colliding with their heads in a pattern consistent with American Morse code. Can hear and understand English, but it can only communicate in Morse. Which is why it wears the helmet. Okay. Okay, 2598 is a silly moth salesman selling moth helmets to people who cannot wear moth helmets. All right. I do enjoy it when DJ Cactus does a silly little guy. You get Moth Helmet Man or Deado. So DJ Cactus is known for crazy long and in-depth articles, but sometimes the guy can drop a banger short. Chris the Direwolf Boy, thank you for donating again. If that doesn't work, then I'll just throw the jump scare joke SCP at them. Hey, I didn't throw up that time at least, if that's the one you were talking about. Was that the one you were talking about? I can get everyone unbanned from the Wanderer's Library, Dr. Sherman. Dr. Akif, I wish you the best of luck. I would love to see that. How much time do we have left? 1.5 minutes. 90 seconds. What SCP traumatized you the most? Well, I want to say 2718 because that is a very scary SCP. But probably the one I've had the most pain from is that thing. I have been curious. Can standard items / entities become anomalous, or anomalies always anomalous? So, Thomas, the case is that some anomalies are brought into being, and they are anomalous. And they've always been anomalous, and they always will be. Some items are turned into anomalies. Usually, you get the standard like haunted by ghosts, something tragic happens around it, and it takes on an anomaly related to what happened. Some anomalies are made out of curses. Sometimes a creature is cursed, and that makes it anomalous. Some people literally just make anomalies. In that case, they are, manufactured anomalies. There's anomalies of all stripes. Sometimes it's just a regular thing until it isn't. I mean, there are some anomalies that are just like one singular room in an otherwise normal apartment complex. So why is that one room anomalous? Who knows? Have you read There Is No Anti-Memetics Division? Stephen, I have not read it, but I've taken a lot of it in through osmosis. As well as, if you haven't seen it, there is a 4-part miniseries of There Is No Anti-Memetics Division here on YouTube. It is on the YouTube channel Andrea Joshua Asnakar. Friend of the channel. The teen ad series is so good. You should go check that out if you haven't seen it. Mike Jones, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of goldfish on your way past the commissary. The crackers, not actual fish. Come on now. Get this to SCP-076-2. I am not giving Abel your $2. Abel has no use for that. All right, that brings us to the end of stream, everybody. And as always, at the end of stream, as tradition, I tell you my favorite SCPs. Now, they're not the SCPs I wrote. That would be cheating. But you can see the SCPs I wrote at the Sherm's author page and Site42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs I wrote. You could see SCPs I contributed to in other manners. And there are support links. So if you want to become a Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member, you can do that to help support the channel's content. And if you can't directly donate, don't worry, because as long as you like, share, and subscribe, as well as helping us signal boost other SCP projects, whether it's something we made or whether it's a film series like Teen Ad I just told you about, then you too can be a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename The Signal Boosters. And that is how we get bigger and better SCP content, by publicizing it to the world, making sure more people see it. Mega Sizor Man, thank you for donating while I am doing my outro. Grab yourself a bag of Skittles on your way past the commissary. If it were possible to transport an entity into a pocket dimension, what would happen if 7179 contained 682? Well, I don't know what 7179 is, but you donated, so I'm going to at least take a peek at this. 7179, E is for eternity. Extra-dimensional spaces. Conscious transport to the island, pardon me. Tactical theology's on it. Some sort of island. I need to read this. 1 second of eternity has passed, huh? Oh, boy. Oh, Calibold. Okay. So, boy, oh, boy. You know, the only entity that can move between dimensions like that is, 682 is very talented at that, because, at least in most canons, in most head canons, it is an avatar of an outsider entity lodged in our dimension somehow anyways. So I have a feeling that it would just stay there forever and then come back to us. So, I don't see that as an effective containment procedure. I don't. And so, onward to continuing my end of stream. My SCPs in no particular, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and with a big content warning, SCP-8980. That one is rough to read. It's good, it's just rough. One more time through, 3999-304-3008, Spooky-J, 5031-5175, 5320, and 8980 with a huge content warning. So, with that, I hope you guys have had fun. I hope you've learned something. This has been another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast of Site-42. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. I've got time to think about the meaning of the 1,000 variations of the beating of a wing, of a hummingbird suspended in the aspect of the world, moving slower than molasses as I'm off to catch the girl who is falling off a bridge, and I'm there before she knows it. I'll be gone before she sees me, put my hand around her waist, and I'll pull her back to safety. By the time she knows what happens, there'll be someone else who needs me, 'cause time keeps dragging on, and on, and on. And you say the world goes rushing by, but it seems so slow to me. And you see it blur around you flying, but it takes too long, it seems so slow to me. Time keeps dragging on. Time keeps dragging on.